This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. Well, every day that goes by is another day to show the people who listen to this channel the repetition that is being used on them. And I am talking about magic, witches, over and over because it's everywhere. Yet people are not processing this. They are not seeing this. They are not aware that they're being programmed. I just covered American Horror Story, right? With the rise of the witch, the house with clocks in the wall, the return of Bewitched, the return of Charm, the return of Witches, the movie, Witch. Now we have Disney once again. No surprise, because everything produced by Disney is about magic and witchcraft. But all they have to do is put some, lovely classical background music, have everybody smiling, rate the movie rated G, right? And everybody goes, oh, isn't that wonderful? Oh, stop the nostalgia. Well, for those of you who weren't aware, they're remaking, or bringing back, I should say, Mary Poppins, or as I like to call her, Mary Poopins, who happens to be a witch. Now, people out there will go, Mary Poppins isn't a witch. No, Mary Poppins only flies around with a umbrella. She only has a magic bag. She only does witchcraft and sorcery, but because they make it seem like it's so wonderful that this witch has arrived, this witch magical nanny has arrived to help this poor family out, everybody just goes, no, you're wrong. Even though they're telling you in plain sight, even in the trailer, that this is about magic.
That's why I live and breathe. Mary.
Poppins, you came back.
You seem hardly to have aged at all.
Really? One never discusses a woman's age, Michael. Would have hoped I taught you better.
We're about to lose our home. Everything's fallen to pieces since your mother. It's a good thing you come along when you did, Mary Poppins.
How'd you do that? Do what?
So you've been off filling the children's heads with stuff and nonsense.
You've forgotten what it's like.
Off we go.
I mean, you could see it for yourself, right? For those who have eyes to see and ears to hear, not hard to see what they're trying to show you here, right? Article after article from Rolling Stone to Huffington Poop talking about Mary Poppins' return as she brings magic into the lives of a family. Magic everywhere, right? But people look at it and they go, not Mary Poppins magic. Well, they've been doing this program since 1964. Mary Poppins came out in 1964. Ever since Disney's come out, it's done nothing but promote witchcraft, sorcery, and magic. Every single Disney film, for the most part, is about magic. You get the director, Rob Marshall, who just did a film called Into the Woods, which is all about magic and spells and spell casting. Right? Must be a huge coincidence, though. Everybody just happens to love, it's just the magic of Disney. People need to separate, okay? One of the hardest things to do in the waking up process is letting go of the things that you think are near and dear to you. But that's just because you've had spells casted on you. From people who are obsessed, I grew up on, Aladdin, and I grew up watching Cinderella, and I didn't turn into a witch. That doesn't mean that you should be showing your children these things, right? Because there's a stubbornness that comes with the awakening process. People don't want to let go. Well, my favorite music was, so-and-so, Led Zeppelin. And despite Stairway to Heaven having backmasking and stuff, people don't want to let go because they grew up on it. I understand that's how the program works. It's very hard to separate. But for the sake of your children, when it comes to the stuff with Disney, separate, okay? Sure, it doesn't mean if your kid watches Mary Poppins that your kid's going to become a witch. Of course not. But what they're doing is they're desensitizing people to the way the world is going to be. A world where witches are accepted, where people are going to want to practice sorcery, warlocks, witches, the rise of the witch, yada, yada, yada. And listen, a kid doesn't have to become a witch to be, indoctrinated with this stuff and not find Jesus Christ, because that's what ends up happening, right? Somebody doesn't have to turn into a witch, but more than likely they're going to see this stuff and they're going to say, oh, that's not bad. Witches aren't bad, and all this stuff's not bad, and right? Meanwhile, it's right in front of their faces. They're showing you, by doing this, they're enhancing the craft of their spell because they're showing it to you. They're revealing it to you. I mean, in the trailer, you can even see it for yourself. The magic always returns, is what it says right in the trailer. The magic always returns, right? When you lose your way, just remember that the magic always returns. But again, it's just, people like me, we're just crazy lunatics, right? Just because we can see patterns and repetition, and it's not hard to see when you're awake. And the reason that I constantly am showing you this is so that your mind can unseparate from this stuff, so that you could say, okay, I came to this channel and I thought it was ridiculous and I thought you were a nutcase, but now I am seeing it because it's so clear and it's so obvious that every movie that continues to come out is promoting witches and magic. Why do you think, like I said over and over in my previous videos, that the witches are protagonists? They're the good guys, right? Oh, the witches are going to save the day. Oh, it's good magic. Oh, they're going to help save the world, right? From the house with clocks in the walls, whatever that garbage is, to, oh, we're going to save the world with our magic and our sorcery. And then the kids begging to learn, oh, please teach us about witchcraft. What do you think all these movies are geared towards teens for? Right? I mean, I know that there's some really strange people out there in their 40s and 50s who are into Harry Potter, which is just embarrassing in its own right. But it's geared towards kids. It's geared towards the youth. Get them to get the costume, get them to get the wand, get them to get what they think is a fictional spell. Harry Potter spells book, right? The parents don't even know. They're like, here's the Harry Potter spells book. Practice the spells. And they're like, oh, it's all fake. It's all make-believe. Let the kids have an imagination, right? This is all stuff that we've heard through the television. Let them, oh, your imagination, your imagination, your imagination. They're talking about witchcraft, right? I'm not saying that, oh, you can't have an imagination, you can't think and, all that kind of stuff. But that's why they constantly are programming people with, oh, Disney mainly talks about, oh, you could do whatever you want and your imagination and the magic of Disney and all this crap, right? And it's just all geared towards kids. But the problem is really that a lot of the parents grew up on Disney, so they're obsessed. So they themselves, when they take their kids to Disneyland and they're in their 50s, they're really going for themselves. Right? They're going, oh my gosh, I remember the Space Mountain. I remember A Small World. And now I want to show it to my kids or my grandkids because it means so much to them because they have memories of it. And of course, most of the time they're going to be good memories, right? Family vacations and stuff for the most part, unless you come from an abusive family, are usually good memories that people have, right? But it's time to separate from those things because Disney's main objective is to poison the minds of the youth, to indoctrinate them with witchcraft and sorcery. That's it. The magical world of Disney, the Magic Kingdom, the fact that Walt Disney was a demolay and a Freemason, has the 33 Club right in Disney. I mean, what more do people need to see to know this stuff? All these kids who come up and become famous, right? They're 4 years old, 5 years old, Britney Spears, Justin Timberlake, Ryan Gosling, Christina Aguilera, right? Until the Miley Cyrus, oh, they're just so talented at 5 years old. These are all MK Ultra, children that go through a lot of abuse sexually, physically, mentally, and are programmed to become, these big famous celebrities who brainwash their fans and their audience into worshiping false idols, into worshiping Lucifer without even realizing it, putting all these spells on the crowd that watches them, with their Masonic nonsense, always have the black and white and all this stuff, the all-seeing eye, right? Yep, they all want to be optometrists, right? Disney is absolute poison. There's no other way to put it. So Mary Poppins is returning, and you can see, in the mirror, Mary Poppins sees herself in the mirror, and she walks away, and she's still in the mirror, right? I don't know if anyone else is, I haven't seen Mary Poppins for obvious reasons. I mean, I would never watch a movie like that. But even before I was awoke, I'm not watching Mary Poppins. But I'm sure there's people out there whose parent or might be older and saw her, the magic bag. She's pulling stuff out of the bag. How do you fit it on the, and she's flying around, falling from the sky like Lucifer fell, like lightning from the sky. She's falling from the sky, appearing with her umbrella. And, they just normalize this stuff, and people are like, no, she's not a witch. It's just fantasy. It's just make-believe, right? And they're even telling you in the trailer, the magic is back. The magic. Never forget the magic. I mean, it's unbelievable. It truly is unbelievable. It's day after day, and it's Disney. It's all of this stuff is geared, like I said a million times over, towards children. And they're not stopping. So what's going to take to stop it? Stop showing your kids this stuff. Stop showing your grandkids this stuff. Get Disney out of your life. People ask me, it's like, oh, yeah, but I still, I have a job. I still have to talk to people about politics. A lot of people don't want to separate from politics for the left, right, because they still want to have hope and, Trump and all this stuff. And, you can't tell people how to live or what to do. You can only, all I can do is tell you what I see, and you can take it with a grain of salt. And, you live your life the way you want. But one of the things that I tell people, if you can't separate from certain stuff, the one thing should be Disney. Disney should not be anywhere near any children at all. This make-believe stuff, they try to pretend like it's all fun and play, yet everything's about magic. But magic's not real, right? So nobody can come up with anything original. The magic apple, the magic slipper, Aladdin and the magic genie. You get Into the Woods, you get this crap, you get the house with the clocks. I mean, you name it. Harry Potter, right? Whatever that movie was, The Witch Hill or something. I mean, everything, every cartoon, Fantasia, The Sorcerer's Apprentice, right? This is targeting children, so this needs to stop. Mary Poppins is returning, folks. The witch Mary Poppins. I know, Mary Poppins, right? Give me a break. I thank you for listening to today's show. God bless all of you and your families.